What I found is if I build that foundation according to that horse's needs, like if I have a quarter horse in here that's bred good and it's just great minded, I could do this in the first day or two, what I'm doing with this horse. It took me a long time to do it with this horse because we had to work on the truss aspect so much. And that was the biggest deal, was the truss part of it. Hey y'all, Nate Eicher from Eicher Ranch. Today we're with Sierra again and just getting her brushed up here, getting ready to do another workout with her. But I thought what we'd do to start out with her is work on the fly spray situation. You know, the flies have gotten pretty bad down here. You know, it's summertime and I have played around with the fly spray on her a little bit, but she's pretty funky about it. Like she'll move off to the side and she don't like it, basically. So what I thought we would start out with is working on teaching her how to accept that, where she can be a little more comfortable with flies buzzing around her. And so we're gonna grab that here. When I'm first starting to put fly spray on a horse, I'll fill one of these with water because I do a lot of spraying. This one doesn't necessarily have water in it, so we're gonna waste some. But you see, like when I moved toward her with this, how she was thinking about leaving. So what I'll do here with the bottle is come out like toward the shoulder area and move it around. I'm not even thinking about spraying it yet. I'm just moving it around, and there she quit moving and she got quiet. So I released her. So think of pressure and release. And if I come to this side and I'm moving the bottle around, and as soon as she quits moving and holds it, there we go, I'll release it. And I'll just start building on that. Do that a few times and see right there she stood good. So now I'm going to rub her with the side of the bottle where it actually feels like a brush on her. And you can hear the water or the fly spray swishing around in there. So she's a sensitive mare by nature. She's really sensitive and was really reactive. So we worked through a lot of the reactive part. Still got a ways to go on it, but so that part, it's helping with that part. Now when I go to spray though, it's going to be a little bigger of a deal. So I want to make sure these first two steps of just approaching and then rubbing her with it are good. So that's pretty good. So now I'll release it. When I go in to think about spraying, I want to kind of sneak it in. So I'll do exactly what I was doing, but every once in a while I just spray, keep rubbing, spray, and then rub again until she stands still. So all of this, we're trying not to make it a big deal, but see, I'll start spraying on the back half. I won't start spraying anywhere up here because it's too much on most horses. So I'll be rubbing. Now I sprayed one and she moved, so I'll rub again until she stands still. There, I'll spray again. And I just kind of try to sneak it in. We'll see if we can get one more. There we go. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and start on this other side with the spray. So one thing to keep in mind, like when I'm doing this, I don't spend a lot of time working on it. Like, I don't make this a big session and really get them over it. All I do is build it in steps. See right there, I put a spray in. And I'm just gently holding her here, but I'm not trying to keep her in one place. She's always been more sensitive on this side, but see right there, I got a spray in over her hindquarter and she stood there. So I totally released her. If you notice, like, she was licking, she was letting down, almost like she knew that's what she was supposed to do, and she got it. Good job. So right there I did again, and she kind of moved one foot. So I'm gonna totally take it away. We've done this probably 2 other sessions just for maybe 3 minutes, where I just played around with it, just tried to get a little bit of fly spray on her. See right there I did. She kind of moved back, so I just go with her. Here I might turn her around. I'm just rubbing this, making it feel good on her. And then spray, rub, there we go, good. Spray, rub, there we go. And she did it again. That was kind of downwind here. Got to watch which way the wind is blowing, because kind of blew on me. Good job, girl. So the important thing to me is not to make it a big deal. I spread this out over 20 sessions on some horses, and she gave me a couple tries where she stood, and so that's all I need. I'm not trying to coat her from head to tail with fly spray at this point. We're just introducing it to her. So that was really good. So we'll move on. Great job, girl. Now, I have been picking up her feet, her front feet. If you've watched earlier episodes, you know how bad, how hard it was to pick up these front feet. And now we're at the point where we can put them right here. I actually trimmed her front feet just the other day. And she let me do it for the most part with see, she'll still do some of that, but we just stay with her, not make it a big deal. And then I can hold it between my legs here, and was able to trim those front feet. Now the back feet, you know, we couldn't touch for a long time. And so every day I've been chipping away at it. She will still kick with those. So I still pick them up with a rope, and then I hold it, and I have to be careful here because she still does kick when something touches her, right? But I've been able to hold this foot up and take the rope off. So that's huge progress for her to be able to do that. If you've watched the first part of her journey, that was, her hind feet were a real issue, all of her feet really. But she's very, very defensive with that hind end. But over time, as the trust builds and she learns how to handle pressure, it's gotten better bit by bit. Oh, see how hard she kicks there yet? So I just stay with her until she gives that up and try not to surprise her here. So I'm really just helping her hold that foot up. Then my left hand comes down. Still have to be careful here. I'm waiting for her to relax here. There I take it off and hold it for a few seconds. Beth, great job. Just another instance where I'm just building it real slow. I don't hone in on it and make a big session out of it. I just build it in little pieces at a time. And that's how she'll learn. That's the way she learns. Great job. Well, now we're going to roll through the groundwork and get her saddled and get another ride on her. I have not ridden her out here in this outdoor round pen. We've just been riding in the smaller round pen inside. So I'm gonna do some ground driving before I get on her, just to make sure we're on the same page. Recently here we did a video about switching eyes and the importance of teaching her how to be good with going from the left eye to the right eye, especially as far as seeing us behind her, seeing me behind her when I'm up in the saddle. So I'm just doing a little bit more prep on that part right here with the flag as she sees me out of her left eye here and sees movement and feel, and then same thing out of the right eye. Does it scare her or does she handle it? It's making her a little bit nervous, but she's, for the most part, handling it pretty good. I'm not holding her as far as pulling both reins. I just pull one rein at a time yet. We're still in the baby steps when it comes to riding her and using the bit. We're working on one half of her body at a time. Good. Good job. We're gonna move her out a little bit more yet, and then we're gonna get to riding. So this is the very first time we're riding out here. So I'm making sure she's paying attention and we're on the same page with everything. And as green as she still is, see right there, she got tight. I still come up on the saddle just like it was the first ride, even though it might be more like the 10th ride now. And because she's such a sensitive, used to be a really reactive horse, I do my homework every single day before I get on her. And then being in a bigger area like this, with a little more going on, I sure don't want to take any chances of her getting away from me mentally. She still has some trouble with switching eyes, but it's gotten a lot better. But still today, when I get on her, I'm going to act like it's the first time I'm switching eyes because she still gets tight. Stay with me mentally. I'm just asking her to come back to me right there. So even when I leave my horse, I still want them to stay with me mentally. So no matter where I walk in here, even though I released her, is her mind still following me? Because when I get in the saddle, I want that mind just like I do on the ground, because if I don't have that, I'm wasting my time. Good. So I tend to get on her off side, which is her right side, and then I switch eyes to her good side. And she's feeling a little tight over here this morning, so I'm gonna do a little bit of stepping around here and moving my leg all over just to get her, make sure she's not gonna do something crazy and take off. Her nature is to bolt, and you know, we know that about her. She has that flight instinct, but because of everything we've taught her, that's gotten under control for the most part, but it's still in there. You know, it's not something that just all of a sudden disappears. We're just replacing it with good habits, a different way of thinking. Good. So I take my time getting on her here, making sure she's going to be somewhat relaxed. Good job. Good. There we go. So I'm riding her without riding her. There we go. Relaxing just a little bit more now. And you might ask, like, why I do it in this position. It's because, like, if things start to go south, like if she goes to do something real fast and moves out, I can step off and pull her head around and be in a safe position. It's kind of the in-between being on the ground and being committed to the saddle. But I'm still fairly balanced on her. I'm not pulling the saddle to one side. I just have more control on this side. So it's been a while here, so I'm going to step back off of her once she relaxes, and we'll start over. We talked about it in the last session on the membership. She overthinks things like this. She just overthinks it. There we go. And I'm trying to teach her, hey, don't overthink it. Just go with the feel, trust me in it, and we'll be good to go. We might get on this side today. Good. Ask her to step around. I like to feel her move just a little bit before I sit in the saddle. Good, there we go. Good. Now I'm gonna see if she'll sit for a little bit there. It's that fine line. I want them to move, but then I want them to relax. And she's trying to figure that out yet. Yeah, I appreciate y'all following Sierra's journey and thanks for all the feedback on the last video we made that we put out there. Y'all gave us a lot of feedback on that question about starting another series or going out and working with horses outside of the ranch here, and gave us a lot of great feedback on that, and we appreciate it. So you might ask, like, why is it taking so long for you to get anywhere with the riding part of it? And it's a valid question. The way I think about it, like with a horse like this, is building it in little steps, little increments. Otherwise, I'll get hurt or it'll blow her mind. Like if we push things too hard, too fast. And when you get a horse, like let's say we have a bad experience because I went too hard at it, I threw too much at her that day, before she's solid, I mean, that can ruin a horse. I mean, where we're back 3 months or so, we'd have to go back and start over. Like if you think about something you've been doing in your life, you've been working at it and chipping away at it, and like you're just not seeing very big results, like if any, like you feel like, is this ever going to go somewhere? Then finally one day you start seeing some results, and they're just little at first, then they start getting bigger. It's almost like they start to snowball. But that's how it is with her. Like we put in so much work, all the small steps every day, and not really seeing much. But now we're riding her, and we're starting to do a lot of small steps under saddle now. So she's taking this left side pretty good. I still didn't switch eyes. I was getting her relaxed over here as I was talking. So now I'm going to just start having her see me out of that right eye for like a split second. I had a decent ride on her yesterday at the walk, switching eyes, and it wasn't too bad. You know, she didn't get too crazy on anything, but I don't assume that she's going to be that good today. So I'm building it in steps to avoid a catastrophe, to avoid something that shouldn't happen just because I got in a hurry. There we go. So as I'm walking, I'm letting her get straighter. I'm letting her see me out of that right eye a little longer. Then letting her go whenever she's trying. Good. And I keep moving my legs and my seat whenever I think about it. Like I try to stay loose up here, but it's so easy to get really quiet and really still. Then they get scared because they don't know what's going on up there, what's going on behind them. So now she's seen me out of this right eye for 4 or 5 seconds. She got a little tight there. There we go. See, as we start switching, she'll start getting a little bit tight because it's a different eye, and she's like, that's just not as comfortable yet over there. There we go. Have her see me out of that eye. You know, like if we it's kind of like us trying to write with the opposite hand that we're good at. Like if we're right-handed and we start learning to write with our left hand, it feels really awkward for a while. And we're just not sure what to do, you know? And that's kind of how it is with her and her right eye. Like it's really awkward and she's just not sure what to do about it. And her nature is to react to everything that's uncomfortable. So you take that combination of, man, this is just awkward, I'm not sure, should I react? And you can tell like she's thinking it over in her mind, like what should I do? Should I react or should I stay calm? And she's trying really hard to stay calm. It's great to see. So here, right eye, I'm gonna rub her here. Great job. Pretty soon we'll be doing a right circle. Good job. Increments, small increments. See if we can, there she got a little tight again. You could see her head raise. And so I didn't finish that right circle. I'm thinking about doing a right circle here. Good. Great job, girl. Doing great. Some people ask why I pat my horses versus just rub them. Well, I have a little yearling in training right now, and that thing is so pushy and so scared, like it's wound tight, and I can just rub it. If I go to pat that yearling, it runs me over, it takes off, just because it's different than rubbing. And so I rub a horse, get them trusting me, and then I do a soft pat and maybe a firmer pat just to see if they can handle it, because if they can't handle that and you're up here riding a young horse and you reach down and you happen to pat them, you're gone. Like they're gonna spook. So part of it, like it actually feels pretty good because I'm not slapping them, I'm just patting them. But it's also a desensitizing thing that I do with every single horse. All right, let's see if we can walk a right circle or if she's gonna take off. Good job. Hey, that's really good right there. Woo, there she got tight. I'm gonna see if we can do a right circle here again. Good, there we go. She gave me one step, so I release. Let's try that again. 2-step, release. Good job. So back to that question, like why does it take so long? Like it's been probably 10 rides and I'm still just walking this horse, still just working on switching eyes. And it can feel like this is taking forever, you should be way ahead and all that. You know, you'll have people telling you that kind of stuff. But what I found is if I build that foundation according to that horse's needs, like if I have a quarter horse in here that's bred good and it's just great minded, I could do this in the first day or two, what I'm doing with this horse. It took me a long time to do it with this horse because we had to work on the trust aspect so much. And that was the biggest deal, was the trust part of it. Then the desensitizing part. and just teaching her how to follow feel instead of running away and pulling everybody around. So what I found is if I just keep building the small steps day after day, after a while it's going to start to snowball. And what took forever, what took so long, all of a sudden isn't that long when you compare one horse to the other in a year. Really good. So this is so much better. You know, all we're doing is teaching her how to steer left and right and be comfortable with seeing me behind her when we, especially out of that right eye. Great job, girl. The next phase, I'll probably spend a few more days doing this. Then the next phase is going to be trotting her in here. But there's no point in going faster if this foundation isn't solid. Really good right there. I'm really pleased with that. That's a great session right there. Good job. As you can see, she's getting so much more comfortable with the bit now too, as she gets comfortable with the movements and following the feel. All right, I'm gonna see if I can step off of her without scaring her. Great job. So we're gonna get her unsaddled and let her have a break here and get back again tomorrow with her. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions about her, just feel free to put it in the comments. We'll try to get to them. If you're liking where she's going, let us know, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Good job. job, girl.